Our next segment is sponsored by our good friends at Gateway Bank, a local bank focused on growing your personal or business finances. It's called Community Spotlight, and it allows us to highlight the nonprofit community that we have in Mesa. You know, one of our next guests from her role at United Food Bank, please join me in welcoming the Vice President of the East Valley Veterans Parade, and with her, this year's parade honoring Honorary Grand Marshal Melissa Forrester and United States Navy retired Captain Stephen Borden. Melissa, Stephen, welcome. Good to see you, Stephen. Thank you for being here. Stephen, how does a guy become the Grand Marshal of the parade?
Some people would say being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, congratulations.
But no, it's a privilege to be able to do that. I've been connected with some fantastic folks here in the community, across the valley in general, but I would say in Mesa in particular, which is where I landed when the Navy brought me to town. And it's just been fantastic.
That's great. And you mentioned in your bio, Mesa is where you live now. You've been here for 6 years, but you've lived in 20, how many?
26 different places. When I first moved to Mesa, it worked out to a little bit less than 2 years in any location for my entire life. So used to transitioning from one place to another.
Stephen is part of the Witness Relocation Program. 26 times, well, that's awesome. So when people say, where are you from, do they really want to know?
They really don't want to know. Yeah. I can speak, though, connect with a lot of people, just about whoever I meet. I say, oh, yeah, I used to live near there.
That's awesome. And Melissa, how long have you been with the food bank?
Going on my 9th year.
Wow, good for you. That's awesome. And tell us about what you guys are doing, and I'll just let you kind of explain why you're here.
Well, first of all, isn't our community great? We just live in such an awesome place. So we're feeding people and we're honoring our veterans. So Veterans Day Parade is on 11/11 at 11 o'clock. So, and if you haven't come, you are missing out. Come and join us. We have over 100, well over 100 entries. We have 5 of our local high school bands that are going to play. We have the Fallen Soldier ceremony that's going to pass through. It is just an amazing, amazing event, and it's our way of really honoring all of those who have served. And you know, in 2006, it was in jeopardy of not continuing until the Marine Corps said, "Nuh-uh, we're going to make it continue." So thank you guys for keeping this tradition going of honoring those who have kept us all free.
That's great. Good job. And Stephen, what's going on this year? What can you tell us? What can we look forward to?
Well, again, as was mentioned, a lot of activity, a lot of connections with different folks in the community. I'm particularly privileged to be a part of it this year, or feel privileged to be able to be a part of it this year, because I feel like I'm kind of in one of these generational gaps that can serve to connect a lot of our veteran community. I consider myself a Cold War veteran, so I started my career at the last stages of the Cold War, and then ended as this latest conflict in Iraq and Afghanistan was getting started. So even from the position that I'm working at ASU right now, I feel like I'm one of those folks that can connect our youngest veterans, our newest veterans, those coming back from the conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, with the generation that went before. And that's really what Veterans Day is about, is connecting our community with the veteran community and making sure that we're recognizing all of those veterans, those who are still here from World War II, all the way through those who are serving now.
I can't help but notice the ASU tie and the fork on your collar there. I know Pat Tillman. Wow, what a legacy and what a soul! Yeah, what a soldier. Care to share anything about that, about Pat? Or?
Sure. So I'm director of the Pat Tillman Veteran Center right now at Arizona State. Of course, he had a great Sun Devil career, and then of course folks know him here from his time with the Cardinals. Leaving that to go serve as an Army Ranger. But there's another window of his career that maybe is focused upon less, and that's his time as a student at Arizona State. While he was playing Division I football, he completed his degree in 3.5 years, had a 3.84 grade point average. And so this is another part of his legacy that we are trying to connect our current veterans with. You can serve honorably, you can come out, you can use the GI Bill, which is available now, and you can really use that to launch yourself into a second career post-military. And so that aspect of being an individual who is honorably served but can also come back and be an outstanding student is part of that connection we're trying to make for our veterans.
That's great. So this year's parade, I know it's 11/11 at 11 o'clock. Where does it start? Where does it end? What do we need to know?
Downtown Mesa, it starts on Center and goes from at University and heads down and then turns and heads west on First.
Okay, great. And how many floats?
We have over 100 entries, so all kinds of, we've got military vehicles, we've got marching bands, we've got everything, you name it, come see. It's awesome.
That's great. Well, it's great to have a day. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we have a couple of our absolute awesome sponsors. SRP, that was here earlier, they're one of our sponsors. Thank you, SRP. And guess the new one? Crescent Crown. So thank you, Crescent Crown.
Is that like a giant keg? That would be awesome.
Ask Neil.
That would be unbelievably cool.
Well, we really want to thank all of our sponsors. They're the ones who really help us put this parade down the road. And if you are interested in being a sponsor at whatever level, Sylvia's got a table in the back. Come back and talk to us and help us partner with us to honor our veterans.
That's great. Now, that's a great day to celebrate and do all that. What can we do the other 364 days a year? What kind of help do you need, Steve?
Okay, so part of the tie-in here is having moved 26 times or having lived in 26 different places, I'm certainly familiar with transition, but I still struggled the first 18 to 24 months after I left the military. So even someone who's moved around that many times in 6 different countries can still struggle with some of those issues of a new environment, a new culture. And so finding out, connecting with our veterans who are in the community, finding out where they're at with regards to this transition post-service is extremely important and is something that I think all of us can do. I would say this, as you look at why am I doing what I'm doing? Why do we have so many other veteran programs out there? If we value an all-volunteer force in this country, which I think we do, and we want to be able to continue and maintain a strong all-volunteer force, we have to create a pathway as a community that allows someone to leave their home at age 18 and go and serve in the military and come out and rejoin society in a very active, very vibrant, contributing way. Education can certainly be a part of that, but that's where the entire community, corporate, individual, family, need to join together to do that.
That's great. Well, those are great thoughts. We thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You're not moving in the next week or so?
I hope not.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for being here today. And Melissa, thank you, and continued good work. How about a big round of applause for Melissa and Steve? Thank you very much.